When a character triggers Quicken on an opponent, that opponent's defense is decreased by 35% for 10 seconds. What? 1 second. Quicken was Dendro Electro, right? Yeah. I mean, this sounds quite a lot like a Tatanari buff. But then again, why would I do it? Whatever. What do we have here? First half, Venti. Definitely. Second half, probably Kazuha in that case. I mean, I need kind of a little bit cryo, but I don't want to use Ayaka again because different content for YouTube. Hello, tubers. Hmm. I think first half, here's nothing really where I need a specific element. There are Hydro Slimes, so I should not take an Hydro main DPS. The rest doesn't really matter. So I can go basically clean. Basically. I hate my life. Anyways. Then I guess I go Fischl. And Venti Henti. Last time I will just go Benny, whatever. Everyone uses Benny. It makes stuff simpler. Otherwise people will say, yeah, but then I need Jing Yang. But yeah, let's just go with that. You can use Jing Yang as well. You can use Toma if you have him. C4 Yanfei probably. Anything that can shield basically. I could go Zhongli as well, but I want to keep it more simple. Second half, I kind of want a little bit cryo for the Dendro Abyss Mage shields. They're pretty weak to that stuff. But I do not have that. Another thing that you could use would be Dendro. So I just go for Tashnari instead. It's not the greatest thing I think I can do, but I mean better than nothing. What do... you know what? I do something different here. I will go my El Clasico team up here. And the bottom half will have official because the combo is way too good to pass on. The last character, who do I use? I need a healer ideally. Let's just go with the cursed one because this way people can once again not complain that I'm using bullshit, you know? Everyone hates Chi-Chi. You don't need her. You can use Diona as well. I personally hate Diona, so I go Chi-Chi. You don't need the cryo effectively here right now because I use Tarnari. But, you know, why not? Also, not having audio is pretty nice right now. Just imagine the audio. Basically, you attack the enemies. It shouldn't be too hard. Okay. Thanks for, I guess, following? Let me check. Uptime. There is no following. I don't know what this sound is about then. Anyways, thanks for doing whatever you done. Very much appreciated. Floor 9 and 10 should be rather easy. But, you know, who knows? Maybe if you struggle with it in some way, just go with it, okay? Just go some damage, jungling, whatnot. There's a lot good stuff you can use. Instead of him, I mean Kazuha in that case, you can use Sucrose as well. It's really on you what you're using. There's no such big difference that you have to use one or the other. And the other is impossible to use. Do you have audio now? Maybe? Yes, we do. Much better. Okay, the plan here is the same basically. Shield up with Jingyang, get some swirl in with Venti, and then go with Klee and go ham. Cookie can do some overload damage. A lot of people hate it. I personally don't think it's that much of an issue. But that's literally on you, if you prefer it or not.
Here we go. Think you can get away? Amp it up! Stick with me! Power core! Time to rock! Time for takeoff. Let's play!
My Jingyang is, by the way, nothing crazy special. So you know, she is like mixed, which is her worst personal build. She has physical damage, a little bit, I think, on the goblet. She runs half defense, has quite little crit rate, only 54% or something. 100% crit damage. So you don't have to be that specific. You don't need super insane hardly stats for her to be viable in most of Abyss, in my opinion.
By royal decree!
The wind knows me. Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds come.
Go.
Keep up. One with the forest. I'll uproot you.
Orders given. Orders received.
Yep. You love to see it.
Enshroud.
As you see, Denbro and Cryo absolutely annihilates these shields. So you can use Traveler or what's her name? Collet easily as instead. It doesn't really matter that much. As long you're contributing Dendro damage, the shield loses the same amount of HP. So damage does not matter. You could go full tank and you would still do the same damage to the shields.
Brace yourself. Think you can get away?
The stage is very easy. Just a Venti burst, maybe Sucrose E twice or something. Group them together and then a little bit of AoE. it should be rather easy to get.
Oh, it's revealed.
One with nature. Fallen leaves adorn my...
Wheel of life.
Testing my patience.
Using Quicken does quite a lot, honestly. So, if you struggle with doing damage, 35% defense reduction is insane. Just for your information. Okay, in 10 we have some Electro Slimes. So I don't want Electro on the first half already. Pyro or Cryo on the second half would be pretty decent. And here it doesn't really matter that much. So to make stuff simple again, I will just go for the same team on here. Just so you see it's not a fluke. The first half is a good question. Pyro, Cryo would be all pretty decent. I think I should go just for Tarnari. Just to keep it simple again. You could go Ayato as well, you could go Yoimiya, you could go Klee, you could go some weird Kokomi drive without Electro, which I would not recommend. You can go Ayaka, you could go Zhao. I mean, Zhao is considered extremely bad, but he needs a decent shield. Since my decent shielder that is free-to-play friendly is on the second half, I would not use him now, because the only replacement would be Zhongli. Besides that, yeah, you can go Ito if you want to. I hate Ito, so I'm not gonna use him. Hate is maybe a pretty strong word, but I think you can get what I mean. He's just not really enjoyable to me. What do I use? I think I will go Colette, just because she has that artifact set that reduces the enemy Dendro damage. I mean, Dendro resistance. Not Dendro damage, my bad. So going that with Kazuha and Chichi, just for, I don't know, ego gameplay. It's always crit rate and crit damage. Yeah. I mean, the first half should be rather easy. Just try to group the enemies up somehow.
As one with wind and cloud. Enshroud.
Fight this on for size.
Into the wind. Can't see.
Tagnari's AoE is not too good,
Let's nip that in the...
but for the early stages it should be rather motherable.
The wind knows me.
Rise.
As you see, I do quite a lot of damage with my E alone. My stats, you can see them on my Enka webpage. The link will be in the description below. So, yeah, he's nothing too crazy. He's 4-piece Wanderer with an EM main stat Goblet. So, there's quite a lot of improvement I can do.
Boing, boing. Here we go. Time for takeoff. Sure until I'm bit. Our bond is strong. Dumpy, dumpy, go. Yahoo! Think you can get away? I'll take this.
These enemies are a little bit more bulky, but with Overload, you can just kind of stunlock them. So to all the Overload haters, get fucked. It is viable in some cases on these fluffy enemies like these mushrooms you will see in the early stages. Yeah, better don't, because they just jump around like crazy and you will not catch them. But if you have Venti, that's no issue anymore. If you have big enemies, that's no issue anymore. So you'll have to adapt on what you have.
Enshroud!
Wheel of life.
One with nature. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. I'll uproot you. Keep up. One with the forest.
Opening box of Adepti tricks.
Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds come.
Okay, I kinda wasted my casual ult. But it should be fine. Floor 10 is kind of free as well.
Brace yourself. Time for takeoff. Shrug till I'm dead. Power cord. Our bond is strong. Jumpy, jumpy, Let's play. Think you can get away? Get with me. Feel the beat. Time to rock. Pew!
I would really recommend using Pyro on that half. Mainly because the Electro Shield from the Mage is extremely weak to Pyro. And yeah, the other one's shield gets destroyed rather quickly as well. Also, you once again have the chance to overload, spam them enemies, knock them back the entire time so they don't get to attack, which can be extremely helpful if you have problems staying alive.
Just like we rehearsed. Rise.
The wind knows me. Into the wind. One with wind and cloud. Let's nip that in the bud. Can't see.
How regretful. Will.
Fine, fine. Here we go. Time for takeoff. Jumpy, jumpy. Power cord. Fool. Be gone.
Against these enemies, Overload once again extremely good.
Fool. Be gone. Winter.
Dealing enough damage shouldn't be an issue as well, as long as you can group them together pretty easily. Which is, to be fair, on this room kinda hard. The Chichin mages are pretty stupid to play against. They can port constantly around. They are hard to be stun locked unless you freezing or have something like Venti. Venti is absolutely insane against them. Okay. On the first half, you want Electro. Why? You might say, I can use Cryo. What's the difference? If you have Ganyu, you can do that, yes. But if you have Ayaka, hell nah, man. Just don't try it. It's a waste of time. You will just painfully hate yourself for quite a few hours. Because the flying shitty things, I don't know which one they are. I think they are the finches. I could be wrong. No, they should be raptors. Whatever, doesn't matter. They fly so high that you can't reach them with your charge attacks, you can't reach them with your dash, and you can't reach them with your E. So basically, if you don't use your burst, you're boned. Once again, you want Anemo on the first half as well, because defend the monolith needs you to CC. Forms of CCs, once again, Venti, Kazuo, Sucrose work as well, but Venti is the most consistent one. On the second half, Venti doesn't do that much anymore, so you can, yeah, do whatever you think you like. I don't know if jungling's burst can hit them in the air. I don't think they can, but yeah, you will have to figure that one out. Using an archer like Fischl, with her Oz alone, she destroys every enemy in here. So going official comp on the first half would be the best thing you can do. Anemo to group is pretty decent here as well, once again. The second half is kind of weird. It's mostly single target stuff. Anemo's not really that impactful here. It can be decent here, but in the first half they're only for enemies, you won't need it. In the third one, the enemy doesn't move, you won't need it. I will go Tachnari on the second half because I like to one-shot the last boss. Or basically one-shot. It's not a direct one-shot, whatever. What do we pair him with? Having a shield is pretty nice, so I will go Jingya. What else could I do? It's hard. It's kind of hard, honestly. To make a team that is fair for everyone to use, but not overly broken, because you have characters on high constellations that most don't have. First half, I said Electro something. I'll just go with Raiden. It's a electro-charged Raiden comp. It's fine, it's not the craziest, but it does the job extremely well. The Hydro is low-key wasted, because you can't use it on here, where the biggest issue might be. But here, once again, you want Hydro, so it's not a bad thing to use. His Pyro Shield just gets absolutely annihilated by some Hydro characters. For the second half, it's pretty hard to say. Once again. Let's go with Clolay. And just go Benny. Yeah, it's nothing too crazy, it's nothing too special, but it should do the job. And since everyone uses Benny, once again, my Benny is not a high constellation, he's only C3. So his burst is on 10 only. It could be better, obviously, but constellations, rough thing to get, especially Benny for me.
Brace yourself. Think you can get away?
Let me weave you a verse, body and mind.
Inazuma shines eternal.
The wrong test of
Time for takeoff. Here we go.
As you wish, maiden.
Witness the power of Guwa. Know my sword.
That was, I think, a perfect run. Don't take that as an example. If you take Sucrose, your monolith will get at least some damage, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal.
I'll uproot you.
Let's light it up. Teamwork is feel the beat. Time to rock.
Fight this on for size. Right?
One Run with the forest.
Okay.
Everybody stand back! Power core! Amp it up!
Enshroud.
Second half, as you see, it should be pretty easy. Pyro is obviously pretty strong against the wooden shield one and on the lava trail. So having Pyro on that side can be pretty good for you. Also, Pyro is good against the big flower at the end.
Shine down!
I just noticed I do not have a decent heal on that half.
Wings of darkness. Think you can get away? Let's play.
Rain cutter! Illusion shattered! Absurd! Inazuma shines eternal! There is no escape!
As you wish, Ming.
Can't see. I hear everything.
Teamwork is dreamwork! Let's light it up! Feel the beat! Try till I'm dead!
Just like we rehearsed. Go!
Enshroud. Huh. Let's nip that in the butt.
Power cord! Going in! Yeah.
Can't see. One thing after another.
Pyrotechnic!
I would recommend to use
Let's light it up!
the rest time you have, especially on this stage, to get your burst back up. Because you can probably need it on the last half. Farming for energy on a boss is always a terrible idea. So always keep your time in check and check how your bursts are. If they are not up, try to get them up. If you believe you have enough time on the next half of the room. And if you're on the second half, obviously you can stall it out up to 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, depending on how fast your first half was.
Shine down!
Odd reveal by. Brace yourself. Time for takeoff.
Time to... Witness the power of... Now you shall perish!
Midnight Phantasmical. Here we go. Think you can get away?
Illusion shattered!
Enshroud.
You have to hit the core first if you want to attack him, which is the head of the monster. Okay, what the fuck is that? I've never seen that attack before.
Everybody stand and feel the beat!
Can't see. I'll uproot you.
Help!
Enshroud.
I mean, I've never seen that laser before. If you get that laser, he seems to be stunned. you have then enough time to just crack his thing open in the front. I can't even tell how I triggered that one, but apparently I did. This thing, I hate this thing. So I'm very sorry. Maybe for you it's the end here. If not, then you can use your Ayaka here. That's what I do. Having freeze on the first half is so insanely good, especially with Venti, because Venti sucks in these doggos here pretty decently and makes the entire third chamber pretty free, honestly. I hope you have Kokumi for that one, because Kokumi is quite a lot better than Mona or what's the other name? Jingju. If not, you can use Mona obviously, but it will be rougher. It will be not as easy or simple as it will be with Kokumi. For the second half, I will be using I think my Yoimiya team. I will do the classic Yoimiya team, the Meta Life 1. Because I can, I guess. Usually I would use something like Yoimiya, Jingju, Fischl, and Benny, which is an overweight comp for her. But since it's pretty hard to get, since you need C6 Fischl and ideally C6 Jingju, I would not recommend to try that. You can go the easy route. On this route, you would want the Shimi artifact set, which I do not use. So my damage is automatically a little bit gimped, which makes it a little bit more fair for free-to-play or early players that don't have the biggest experiences. My Junjin is C6, so that's... yeah. I'm a simp. I'm very sorry. If that hurts your feelings, sorry, but I have to simp. She's cute. Don't judge me. The stages are pretty simple.
Time for takeoff.
You would want to use Venti on the first half anyways, because of the second wave of these enemies here.
Covenant of the deep.
You will see why in a second.
Shiver. Whirling snow.
Because there's another Drake, but this time it's the Flying Drake. The Flying Drake has a pretty easy weakness to exploit, which is having an animal character, I mean not animal, and bow character in your team. You just shoot these two things, you don't even need to load it up, and you're ready to go.
Think you can get away? Here we go.
He will be stunned for a few seconds.
Embrace
You can use the time to easily destroy the enemy.
Punishment. Judgment.
billowing surge.
Whirling snow.
This half is extremely hard for Yoimiya, because there are many enemies. Usually you do not want to do that with her, but since she's absolutely broken on the other two chambers, you can give it a try, honestly. The only thing you have to care about is the electro hammer guy that is spawning in this direction. You have to focus him first, because you have no way to destroy his shield with that team.
Well, here come the fireworks.
Rain cutter. Rain outlines your fate.
Gather.
Unleash your grand finale. I'm getting
Witness the power of Gua. Huh? Feel my sword.
Solidify.
It is very possible that I'm not going to get 3 stars here, but don't let that discourage you, because it's not that big of a deal, since my team is just not made for it, honestly, on this half.
Body and rain cutter. Rain outlines your fate.
And step. Your grand finale.
As you see, I have an issue now.
Time for a light show.
Getting rid of him is nearly impossible now. It will take quite a lot of time.
Let me weave you a verse. Huh?
Strike is one. Here come the fireworks. The fuse is lit.
It worked. How it works? I have no idea, honestly. Probably my first half was just extremely good. If you don't get it, it's fine. You don't need to 12 Battle Abyss. It's a very common thing for people to think, yeah, I have to beat it on the first try, otherwise I'm bad. That's not true. Getting a 12 Battle Abyss is extremely hard, especially on this rotation.
Brace yourself. Time for takeoff. Allow me.
Take flight. You can't run. Shiver. Kamisato out. Sumetsu.
Be gone.
My apologies.
Hold the line.
Whirling snow.
Once again, try to keep your bursts all up. You will need it on 12-3. 100% sure. I guarantee you.
Fool.
This boss can be a little bit tricky. Pyro shields or Geo shields are both extremely good against him because he's the pyro version of the boss.
Know my sword. Witness the power of Gua. Rain outlaw.
Observe. Time for a light show.
Crumble. Order guide.
I fucked up.
Solidify.
Know my sword. Rain cutter.
Your grand finale. A festive reprise. Unleash. Strike is one.
Witness the power of Gua. Huh?
Fuse is lit.
This boss is pretty straightforward. You don't have to take care of a lot of things. Just shoot him down. Whenever the prompt is coming on the top, you will just have to use a shield. Jingyang shield is good enough. Trust me on that. You can use Toma once again or Yanfei. Both works extremely fine. You don't have to worry about that thing. Otherwise, use Noelle. She's free. You get her easily. Getting defense is pretty decent. She has, I think you need a constellation for it. A second shield once you get low HP, which automatically triggers every few seconds. It's good. Just use her.
Judgment. Punishment.
Think you can get away? Allow me.
Whirling snow. Embrace the ice. You can't run.
Here we go. Covenant of the Deep. Time for takeoff.
Yeah. Shiver. My apologies.
Hold the line.
Sakura swirl. You can't run.
Okay.
Whirling snow. Judgment. Punishment. Think you can get away?
Once again, you want to group the enemies.
Rest and leave it.
If you freeze them with Ayaka,
Take flight.
you don't need to do much more. It's pretty easy. Ayaka is extremely good, so once again, your results can vary from mine. So don't say, yeah, the guy was lying. This is not true, it's just eventually an artifact difference.
Stabilize.
No, my sword. Let me weave you a verse.
Break a leg. Observe. Time for a light show.
This was pretty easy once again. You just need to shoot him.
Here come the fireworks. Flags up. Observe.
Solidify.
Witness the power of Gua. No, my sword.
Fire hazard.
Ideally, if you don't have a decent pyro damage dealer, you can use Electro as well, but the fight plays a lot different then, which I'm unable to show right now.
And step. Your grand finale.
Rain cutter. Rain outlines your.
The field is lit.
The big difference is, once this bar on the right here, this one, is full, he will do get enraged and be like full Pepega mode, run at you like a moron, and fall to the ground. Once he's falling to the ground, he's in a stunned state, which reduces his dendro resistances. Ignore that, just ignore it, it's useless. By like 55% if I remember correctly. That's not the best thing, trust me. Because he has 80% dendro resistances, so using a dendro character into him will not benefit you, it will just hinder you. Go Pyro, go Electro, even Hydro can work. I did it last week, I mean not last week, last rotation with Ayato, it works. Anyways, I will show now my teams. If you're here, very much appreciated. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe it was helpful. If you have questions or want me to shut the fuck up, tell me. And yeah, have fun with my builds.
I created another universe and founded paradise. For I, Fischl, am the Prinzessin de ready.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But
One, two, breathe. 3, 4, and
Benny's adventure team, assemble!
That's pretty much all. Thanks for tuning in. If you saw that, you're big poggies. Like, follow, subscribe, whatever. It helps me very much out. I hope it was a little bit helpful. Once again, if not, tell me what I can do different. Obviously, weapons, but every character has a free-to-play option you can use. Instead, with my shitty artifacts on most characters, you should be able to do it.